He never did nothing wrong to me. Now, let me check something real quick. All right. Pull up a few of these things, man. Oh, get on my face. I don't care about this shit. Yo. Damn, my glasses won't goddamn. There we go. Shit. Well, no. Be even right now. What's up? Gonna make sure we got everything. So it is official that the Dallas Mavericks have officially fired Nico Harrison. Now, let's get into it. There was breaking news broken by Shams. Shams, my boy, he said, hold on, my fault. I thought we was on it. Breaking. The Dallas Mavericks and owner Patrick Dumont are expected to fire general manager Nico Harrison at a 10 a.m. Central Time meeting on Tuesday, sources tell me and Tim McMahon. Ow. Shams also said the Mavericks are firing Harrison 9 months after the jarring and stunning Luka Doncic trade, a move for which Dumont took accountability and accepted as a mistake in a courtside interaction with the fan on Monday night. Now, apparently, this interaction was caught on camera. And apparently, it was some little kid in a Luka jersey, in a Luka Laker jersey. And apparently, this is the interaction that is being referred to. right? Apparently, that's the interaction that moved the owner, Patrick Dumont, so much. It touched his heart so. The kid that's sitting courtside at an NBA game, right? Touched his heart ever so slightly. Now, some Dallas Mavericks fans are going to want to put this guy in the Hall of Fame, right? They may want to give him a statue, right? A lot of people are, glorifying the kid and this interaction. However, I want to be very clear when I say this. The owner should not be able to skate by and just dangle Nico Harrison as a scapegoat. A deal like trading Luka Doncic is not just a GM move. The owner has to sign off on that deal. He shouldn't be able to just come out and be like, oh, I felt bad. I feel bad about the trade now. And like everybody's cool with him. But it's like, hey, everybody, let's collectively shat on Nico Harrison. Nico Harrison cannot make that trade unless the owner approves it. Let's make that abundantly clear. Now, there is some more detail. Right? Apparently, this was not too long ago where Brian Windhorst was saying that the firing of Nico was in fact coming. Right?
Big deal. But man, there's just like, dude, there's a whole lot of things that ain't good with the Mavericks. And hey, at this point, I believe it is a matter of when, not if, Nico Harrison will be fired. And there is a very, very strong likelihood that will be midseason. Maybe they can get things turned around. Maybe his seat can go from sizzling to, a more normal temperature. But, I always say, like, dude, every time I think that they've hit rock bottom, they find they find a way to drill deeper.
And they almost lost to Washington. They won.
That would have been drilling. That would have been drilling all the way down to Hades, and that's about how hot Nico's seat is right now, fellas.
Well, their two best players are out.
Okay. Breaking news: they knew Kyrie was going to miss the first half of the season or so, and your big move this summer was to go to get D'Angelo Russell to replace him on a temporary basis. Also, why do they have such a void for playmaking and offense creation on this roster? So, I mean, come on now. It's blown up in his face.
I mean, yes, obviously that's because Luka Doncic is no longer on the team. But it's also because the two best players are hurt. This is very convenient for the people that have been so anti this trade to begin with. Right? If you're somebody who wanted to try to give Nico, excuse me, I'm not saying Nico. If you're somebody that wanted to try to give Dumont, because that's the owner who approved the trade, some benefit of the doubt, it would be okay. You get AD here, you get Kyrie back like January. You try to, stay afloat till you get Kyrie back. You have defenders, you have multiple bigs. We'll see what we can do when the team is healthy. right? I still like a lot of their roster. I like Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford, Cooper Flagg. Obviously, they got him with the number 1 overall pick. Sidebar: I keep seeing niggas say, "Well, don't victory left about Cooper Flagg because that wasn't part of the trade." I guess you can say that, but that'll also be acting very obtuse to the fact that they wouldn't have been that bad if Luka was there to get the number 1 overall pick. Like, how does that, yeah, to me, it is all intertwined in a way. It's not a direct correlation, but that is in relation to getting Cooper Flagg, the Luka deal. You trade Luka, you're a worse team, AD gets hurt. So now you're a bad team. Now you get the number 1 overall pick. That's how that works. If Luka's there, which I agree, though. However, let me say this: it's better to have Luka Doncic on your team than Cooper Flagg. Absolutely. But to try to act as if that trade didn't, in a way, facilitate getting the number 1 overall pick for Dallas is disingenuous, in my opinion. It didn't directly. That wasn't the goal. That wasn't the plan. We're not going to sit here and act like if Luke was still on the Mavs, they would have got the number 1 overall pick. That's not how that would have gone. Sorry. So, oh yeah, also to this point of Dallas being bad. They're bad because everybody's hurt. AD, ironically enough, came to camp out of shape. Right? You trade Luka because y'all are so worried about his commitment to his shape and conditioning. Then the guy you trade for comes to camp out of shape. You can't plan on that. Now, to be fair, he had eye surgery in the off season. We don't know if that limited him in his, working out. I'm sure it did. I'm sure recovering from an eye surgery, it's a lot of you got to sit down, right? Probably so. Can't be doing too much moving. That's fair. But AD comes to camp out of shape. He's not ready to play. And early on in the season, we could see that was not the Anthony Davis they traded for. That wasn't the Anthony Davis to start off the 24-25 season. That wasn't the Anthony Davis that played in the 23-24 season. You start the season. Who was their starting point guard? Who knows? But you weren't playing the one that you signed in D'Angelo Russell. You having Cooper Flagg run point. And then get all shocked and chagrined when your offense stinks. Because you have a 18-year-old rookie forward playing point guard. I am not going to sit here and I don't know. I was somebody who did kind of like this Mavs roster. I thought they could be really good. I still disagree with the trade. Let me just be very clear. Disagree with the trade. But I thought the Mavs could be a good team when healthy. Kyrie Irving's still a top-tier player in the league. Top 25-ish. One of the better offensive players in the league. AD, for the past, I don't know how many seasons, has been a consensus, well, for anybody with the brain, because I'll be seeing the dumbass offseason list. Anybody with the brain, consensus top 10 player in the league. Like, I wasn't planning on the Mavs being an ass-tastic team. They also got Max Christie, a solid 3-and-D guard, 2 guard. Cool. They still had Najee Marshall over there. Right? Again, you still have Lively and Gafford. This this wasn't a trash roster. They were clearly missing scoring and playmaking from the perimeter. They had Kyrie coming back. They signed D'Lo to be the fill-in PG, which I thought that was a solid pickup for them during off season. If D'Lo played like regular D'Angelo Russell, but now since everybody's hurt, now it's easy to victory lap and be like, oh, told you this team was bad. We haven't even seen the team yet. To be honest with you, we haven't seen them yet. We don't know. We don't know what this team is, for real. Let's get to, let me see here. See what our good buddy old pal had to say about the breaking news of this is also we need to that Luka Doncic out of shape fiasco to me was so blown out of proportion. Like to me, he's had 1 year where it looked like he legit couldn't play basketball. And that was the start of last season. But he was also nursing a lower extremity injury, his left leg. So, like, if he couldn't do what he needed to do in the offseason, like, yeah, he was, Now, don't get it twisted. That brother was big last year. Let's make that very clear. That brother was big. But again, I do think that had got blown out of proportion because he was dealing with an injury. And it's funny enough, some people are willing to say that about Luka, but won't say that about Anthony Davis right now. I'm just saying. Willing to give Luka the bail for dealing with injury, thus leading to him being out of shape. But now they laughing at AD. Hey, if you're gonna be fair, be fair. AD was dealing with an injury. Luka was dealing with an injury. They were out of shape at the time. I just want that on record. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm not even going to go into, first off, that's also the report being said is that they just didn't want to pay Luka the money that he was owed. But that's somehow Nico's fault. And don't even let me go into the aspect, especially in today's climate and what's going on outside, about the decisions of the higher ups being bad and then the people beneath them suffer the consequences. Let's not even go to that goddamn conversation. Now I believe this is Shams talking about this on ESPN as well. Again, we sitting here acting like Nico has the authority to make these moves by himself. Here's also Draymond Green speaking his piece about the situation.
The team that Nico constructed to go win a championship hasn't been on the court. So I find it crazy that everybody's just going to act like Kyrie Irving is this easily replaceable guy. Do you see the Indiana Pacers without Tyrese Halliburton? They look like a completely different team. Yes, they got the number.
I get what he's saying. There are more injuries to that team than Tyrese Halliburton. But I get the point. Just like right now, there's more injuries than just Kyrie Irving to the Dallas team.
One pick. Guess what teams that get the number one pick usually look like the next year? Trash. And I know what everybody's going to say. Oh man, their injury history. You knew, you had to wonder that or think that was going to happen. Well, AD for a better part of the last 2 years has been extremely healthy before getting to Dallas. Kyrie Irving, since being in Dallas, has been pretty healthy. So miss me with the injury history stuff and going back 10 years and guys has been healthy the last 2 or 3 years. I don't buy that. Y'all just want to go point the finger at Nico because that was a storyline. Now let's make that a storyline again. That shit is whack to me. So next year, they come back, that full team that Nico intended to be out there, and they have success. Then what?
I mean, let's also be very clear. I agree. I think Dallas is a better team than what they're showing right now. However, still a dumbass decision to trade Luka Doncic. I do want to be very clear here that I do not agree with this decision. You do not trade a top, in my opinion, 3-player in the league at 25, 26. The guy that just took you to the finals? Yeah, you probably don't trade that man. It's probably the smart thing to do. Not trade the 25, 26-year-old superstar, arguably best player in the world in that last season you just had, the 23-24. Crazy. Brother averaged 34, 9, and 9, and you traded him. Now, here's the owner. Let's make sure we hear from this brother, right? Mavs owner says the Luka trade was made to help Dallas improve for the future. The owner, the guy that cuts the checks, okay? That's what he said. I have a problem, very quickly. I have a problem how it's fire Nico, but ain't now goddamn sign that says sell the team. No sign out there that says sell the team. But it's fire Nico, fire Nico. It's funny how these owners get to walk around making all the bad decisions and making majority of the money. But it's always the GM fault, a player's fault, a coach's fault. It's always everybody else's fault but the guy that's doing the hiring and signing the checks. Let's get to the brother that's signing the checks in Dallas.
Was going through your mind, how did you frame a decision of such magnitude like this?
So tough decisions are never easy. And part of leadership is looking at risk and looking at all the factors of a decision and being willing to act at that time and look to the long term and not only think about the short term or how it may be received immediately, but to think about the long-term benefits and what it may allow you to achieve if given all the right considerations. And I think for us, going into the trade deadline last year, we were not competitive. If you recall, we were not a playoff-bound team. And we were able to do some things to reconstruct the roster and enable the team to become very competitive. And after the trade deadline last year, we actually had the best record in basketball, which was a big accomplishment. And we got to the championship games, and we didn't win. And so we had to decide, how do we get better? What can we do to improve our team? And so we looked at our trajectory during the season and realized that we did not get better. But the teams that we competed against, some of which we beat, did get better. And ultimately, when you look at the Eastern Conference, after we were to get through the Western Conference, if we're so fortunate, you would have to beat some very formidable teams, including one that we lost to, which actually got better. So this was a decision about the future. If you look at our roster today and who we have, we feel like we position ourselves to be incredibly competitive against the best teams in the NBA. And if you're
Mind you, I don't know. How are you preparing for the future by getting the 6-year older player? How does that make sense? How does that make sense? I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. This trade but not only the trade, their explanation of it, to me, it triggers this decision was made not for basketball reasons. I'm sorry. There's no way that you're trying to convince us that you're doing this for basketball purposes. Now, I'm not going to go into all the conspiracy theories that's been going around about the Dallas Mavericks and the reason why they traded Luka. Apparently, there was some more money to be made if you move the franchise elsewhere. But again, nobody's telling anybody to sell the team. It's fire Nico.
a fan of basketball, I'll just throw that out there, you have Kyrie Irving, Klay Thompson, PJ Washington, Anthony Davis, and either Daniel Gafford or Derek Lively as your starting five. That's going to put fear into a lot of teams in the league if we can get going.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Right? And so the objective was, how do we create a roster for the future that allows us to be the most competitive team? I've said it all along. I don't know if you heard what I said when we actually bought the team from Mark, but we want to win championships. We want to be a winning franchise for the city of Dallas, and we want to be one of character, one of community involvement, and one where we sort of carry on the legacy of the Dallas Mavericks in the right way.
It's not making any sense. I'm sorry. It was Nico saying his foolishness.
And also, unfortunately, I'm super stubborn, so someone telling me to do something doesn't work too well for me.
Well, they just told you to kick rocks and pack your bags, nigga, so you're going to have to listen to that one, unfortunately for you. Oh, man, and now all of these clips are resurfacing about Nico Harrison and the press conferences he was doing at the time. Now I'm not gonna lie, some of these are they're a little rough, a little rough, a little rough.
Why shouldn't you be fired?
Well, one, I think I've done a really good job here, and
First off, that is a crazy question to ask somebody. Hey, excuse me. Why should you be gainfully employed? uh, why should you be able to feed your family? Golly, bro.
I don't think I can be judged by.
Why shouldn't you be fired?
Well, one, I think I've done a really good job here, and I don't think I can be judged by the injuries this year. You have to judge from totality, from beginning to end, and so I think I have a really good working relationship with Patrick. I think you add in Rick, the leadership that we have is really elite, and you'll see next year when our team comes back, we're going to be competing for a championship.
Why shouldn't you be fired?
It's just a crazy question. Now, y'all, look at this foolishness here. Look at this foolishness here. See, this is shit I'm talking about right here. This is shit I'm talking about right here. So this is Dumont's open letter to Mavericks fans after they fired Nico Harrison. Dear Mavs family, on May 30th, 2024, the Mavericks won the Western Conference Championship. We came up short in the NBA Finals, but we all agreed our future was bright. Then why'd you trade the nigga? Let's continue. As fans of this franchise, you have every right to demand a commitment to success from us. No one associated with the Mavericks organization is happy with the start of what we all believe would be a promising season. You traded away the guy, but you thought their future was bright. But after trading him, you thought this season was a promising season. Okay. You have high expectations for the Mavericks, and I share them with you. When the results don't meet expectations, it's my responsibility to act. Yeah, sell the team. Sell the team. Sell the team. That's what I'm on. Fuck it, Nico. Sell the team. Where was I? I've made the decision to part ways with general manager Nico Harrison. Though the majority of the 25-26 season remains to be played, and I know our players are deeply committed to a winning culture, this decision was critical to moving our franchise forward in a positive direction. I understand the profound impact these difficult last several months have been. Please know I'm fully committed to the success of the Mavericks. Thank you for your support. Thank you for holding us accountable. And thank you for your passion and for your patience. You deserve transparency and a team that reflects your spirit. Our goal is to return winning basketball to Dallas and win championships. Our family is committed to that mission and to continuing to invest in Dallas and the Mavericks' future. Please join me in continuing to cheer on our players and supporting all of those who work to make this organization the best it can be. Go Mavs. Thank you, Patrick. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. The city of Dallas, if you have such a problem, apparently there are reports now of Jason Kidd moving into a front office position. If you have such a problem with the deal, y'all need to go to these same games where you're holding up signs that say fire Nico, and you need to go say sell the team. That's what you need to be doing. That's what you need to be doing. What is this? What's this here? Oh, this is also dumb. Very quickly. Glad you brought this up. For the dumbass saying, this is from Stein and S tier cowardly. Nico doesn't want to face paying customers. What a chuckle fuck. I've never heard that insult before. But I'm definitely adding that to the vernacular. Because it's a lot of you niggas that are chuckle fucks. Right? I know a few chuckle fucks. Now, portable stairs are rolled in every game via the tunnel between both benches and adjacent to the new seat location that enabled Harrison to exit at any point without having to walk through sections of the crowd. It's a seat configuration that is used for hockey games at the American Airlines Center is now being employed by the Mavericks this season. Yeah, that's because y'all didn't let that man and his family live a regular life anymore. He was receiving death threats. He was going to restaurants and couldn't eat in peace. Like, what? I understand he traded your favorite player, but that doesn't give you a right to invade his. Come on now, invade his privacy, endanger his well-being. Really? And you think he should have to not be worried about that or concerned about that and use another staircase? The fact that he feels he needs to use another staircase. That's the problem. Come on, bro. That's crazy. How they were doing it was crazy. What I was hearing was crazy. Him and his family at a restaurant trying to eat. He getting bombarded by people because they don't like that he what? And it's dumbasses that really like they think that's okay. What are we doing? What are we doing? At the end of the day, this is basketball. It's a sport. It's entertainment. Putting that man life in danger. Cause come on, bro. Come on, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy. Nothing he did is justifies that. That's insane. But again, owner walk around the city scot free. Don't nobody give a damn what the owner doing. Yeah, he get to sit front row at the court side next to the nigga with the Lakers jersey on. He don't get no smoke. What? That's crazy. It's so bad to the point he might not get an NBA job ever again. Oh no, he doesn't deserve one. Let's be very clear. You trade Luka Doncic at 25, yeah, you're not getting another GM job. That shit's that's over. That's done. Yeah, you're not getting another job. Yeah, yeah. Nah. Yeah, that's just done. You need to go. I hope you got another degree or something, another profession you had for plan B. Yeah, maybe go back to Nike. You feel me? Yeah, you done. You done as a NBA front office uh personnel. You're thinking basketball featuring Nico Harrison. Yeah. I'm gonna see if we can get Nico over here for an interview or something. Tell all. Nico Harrison tells his side of the story. Cause yeah, that NBA shit over with. For sure. Let me see. Do we have anything else? Mm, 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 mm. Oh wow, here's a clip of Dirk talking about the Mavs after Grizzlies loss. Damn, they lost to the Grizzlies? Golly. Couldn't be me and my team. Losing to the Grizzlies is crazy. The Grizzlies suck. God. Here's what Dirk had to say though.
Yeah, I feel bad for my Mavs fans. This has been a disastrous start. Obviously, there's a hole at point guard and playmaking position. We knew that hole wasn't filled this summer. So there's a hole at shot creating. There's a hole at shot making. We said coming into the season that health is big for them. Obviously, Kyrie's out for a couple more months, but you know, you need AD healthy, Lively you need healthy, and both of those guys have already been out for a while. Gafford's missed some games, so it's been just a disaster start. They're actually on pace to have a record bad start on offense. They can't shoot, they can't make plays. It's all kind of going side to side, east and west handoffs. It's just nobody can make shots. It's been tough to watch. Yeah.
Damn. Tell me how you really feel. Can't shoot, can't make plays, can't do nothing. Can't do nothing on offense. Yeah, 103 offensive rating in Big 2025 is crazy. Appreciate you, Bon Voyage. Appreciate you. Who do you think they hiring as the next coach? I don't know. I don't even know who wants to come over here and coach this team right now, to be quite honest with you. Don't have a clue. Now, somebody said before you shed one tear for Nico Harrison, know this. If you start to feel pity for Nico Harrison, remember that he first drove Dirk Nowitzki away from the organization by firing Casey Smith, the best trainer in all of basketball, over the phone while he was taking care of his dying mother. Now, if that's true, that's kind of crazy. He removed anybody and everybody close to Luka Doncic and Dirk, all as an aggressive power play. He didn't care how you, the fans, or anyone felt about it. This isn't a witch hunt. This is justice. Fire Nico Harrison and do it today. Show him the hospitality that he didn't give Casey's family, and do it in person. Right, and we have the Luka Doncic trade was not a standalone instance of Mavericks general manager Nico Harrison betraying those in the organization, according to ESPN's Tim McMahon and a long list of Maverick sources who chimed in to him. The drama within the franchise dates all the way back to August 23rd, where Harrison fired a longtime Maverick staffer, Casey Smith, who was close with Dirk and Doncic. But it wasn't just that Harrison let go of a trusted member of the organization. He did so while Smith was out of the state tending to his gravely ill mother in the final weeks of her life. Yeah, that's crazy. With Smith being in his hometown in Ohio and Harrison being back in Dallas, the former wasn't able to meet in person, leading to Harrison setting up a call in which he fired Smith, seemingly out of nowhere. Smith worked for the Mavericks for nearly 2 decades. He began as a Mavericks head athletic trainer in 2004 before making his way to Dallas Director of Health and Performance years later. And there's a gentleman there. That's unfortunate again. Now, I do want to say there were people like this. There were definitely people like this amongst us, saying how Mavericks won the trade. I'm just saying, that's crazy. That's crazy. Anybody who was saying the Mavs won the trade is absolutely nuts for that. Nuts. Now, again, do I think you could argue, hey, if they're healthy, they can still be a good team? Sure. That doesn't mean they won the trade, though. That's not what that means. You automatically lose the trade just on 2 things: how good Luka is and his age. You automatically lost the trade. Automatically. Those 2 variables means you lost off the ripper. Yeah, nobody should have been saying that one. That's crazy. Also, to Dirk's point, graphic was crazy. To Dirk's point about Dallas not being able to throw a rock in the ocean, the Mavs are down bad, even for the infamous Luka AD trade. Nobody expected to start this rough. Besides being riddled with injuries, their shooting has been abysmal. They have 7 players. Players, I don't know why I said it like that. Players shooting below 30% from 3. PJ Watt, compared to last season, here's the drop off. PJ went from 38% to 27.5%. Clay went from 39 to 26.5%. Brandon Williams went from 40 to 18. I'll round up 19. Cooper Flag shooting 27% from three. AD shooting 27% from three. Najee Marshall shooting 25%. D'Angelo shooting 27.5%. All white bricks. Just straight bricks. Dallas Maverick bricks. Blue white bricks. No Luka bricks. AD bricks. These niggas is, they throwing up nothing but bricks. Golly. There's no way this is real. There's no way they finna have a burger get together. Hold on. There's no way. Y'all better show up. MFFL rail at the AAC. Celebrate a new chapter in Mavs history. The Nico Harrison era has officially come to an end, and it's time for Dallas to come together, chill out, and look forward to the future of our Mavericks. Free drinks and snacks for fans in blue and white. Charity fundraiser. Bring your jerseys, your energy, and let's make AAC echo with MFFL pride as we toast to better days and brighter leadership for the Dallas Mavericks. Again, I'm going to ask, there are, what about the owner that decided to trade Luka? How are you going to have brighter days when you have an owner that agrees to that decision? I don't understand. How is he just getting by like this? Like, what? They are desperate to keep their team. Here are all of the moves also made by Nico Harrison. Just by the way, so we're clear. Players traded: Josh Richardson, KP, Trey Berg, Boban, Sterling Brown, Marquise, Dinwiddie, Dorian, Grant Williams, Seth. I ain't gonna lie, a lot of these names should have been traded. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of them names should have been gone. I don't know if this is just supposed to be an objective list and not like biased toward it anyway. I believe, hopefully, because I hope they're not saying, hey, why did you trade Josh Richardson? Right? I hope that's not the sentiment. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping he's not sitting here, hey, why is Davis Bertans gone? I really hope that's not what you're trying to say right here. I hope this is just a list of players that were traded. Now, picks traded. I don't know. Good handful of picks were traded. Players acquired: Moses Brown, ill. Spencer Dinwiddie, David Bertans, trash. Christian Wood, trash. Kyrie, amazing. Markieff Morris, any Morris pickup after the year of like 2020, boo boo. Rashawn Holmes, garbage. Grant Williams, boo boo. PJ, good pickup. Daniel, good pickup. Quinn, good pickup. You know what? To be honest with you, that was another one. Damn. Yeah, they really did trade Grimes for Caleb Martin. That's another move that is just ass, bro. That one's kind of snuck under the radar. But my God, they really traded Quinn Grimes for Caleb Martin. That's terrible. Yes, they could use Grimes right now. They could use Grimes right now. Grimes getting the ball a little bit. He getting the ball a little bit. He can shoot. It's looking bad over there in Dallas, man. I don't know. I don't know if the future is bright. And again, before we get up out of here, I do want to say this, just to be abundantly clear. I think the decision to trade Luka Doncic is one of the worst decisions made in NBA history. And that's point blank, period. I say one of becomes I'm sorry. The worst trade still to me is that Clipper trade with OKC. I'm sorry. That's still the worst trade. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's the worst trade. I know you didn't know what Shea was at the time. And people are like, but this hindsight. I mean, but yeah. 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 It is. And looking back, it's the dumbest trade in NBA history. You lost Shea. You gave them the pick to get Jalen Williams. The ramifications for that trade have been preposterous. Dumbest, oh my God, they're mad at you. It's the worst trade ever. It's the most one-sided trade ever. The OKC is up, 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 up. They way up because of that trade. Clippers still dealing with no cartilage Kawhi. OKC look like they finna go back to back because of that trade. They lost Kawhi Leonard. I mean, not Kawhi Leonard. They lost Shea. For Paul of George. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. To me, yes. Yes, using hindsight. That is the worst trade. I'm sorry. I know at the time we didn't know, but now we know. That trade was abysmal. That trade was god awful. The Brooklyn trade is another great nominee for a trade potentially worth, because you got 45-year-old Paul Pierce, 48-year-old KG, and that's how they got Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. That's, bruh. I want to be OKC still coming up off that trade to this day, like still. That that OKC Clipper deal, worst trade of all time, hands down, in my opinion. OKC still coming up off that trade. What? What if Luka wins in LA? Obviously we do know it's one of the worst trades again, but that's still not that Clipper trade, bro. Because, and again, I am tying that first overall pick to the Dallas trade because, again, in my opinion, it's very disingenuous to act like, well, if they still had Luka, they would have had the number one overall pick. Like, no, they wouldn't have. It's not a direct correlation, but it's in relation. All right. If Cooper Flag turns out to be the prospect that many of them think, that's not how math works. We're not talking about math. What? Lottery is math. Okay, for the slow people in the back, if Luka Doncic plays for Dallas last season, they're not in the lottery. Hello? Hello. If Luka plays for Dallas last year, they're not in the lottery, thus not getting Cooper Flag. I'm also not giving credit to Nico for getting that pick. I'm just saying the reality of the situation. Dallas isn't bad enough to get Cooper Flag if Luka is playing on the team. Now, again, I say I would rather have Luka than to be qualifying for Cooper Flag. I'm sorry. Yeah. He played in 23-24. We were in the lottery. Who was in the lottery in 23-24? Is it not possible they sit Luka down if they not a top 8 seed? Possibly. Maybe. Maybe. See, that's a better argument. But even still, Luka Doncic at this point is, if he's playing, you're going to win games. It's kind of how that works. If he's playing and you have defenders around him, which they still did, he's going to win games. It's going to equate to wins because he's that good. 22-23, they weren't winning because their roster was straight dog shit. That's why they weren't winning. Their roster in 24-25. Matter of fact, weren't Dallas started the season last year kind of hooping, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. What's up, Logan, man? Yeah. Luka was 5-7 start. Damn, they was ass. Then it was good until Christmas. Luka went down. Oh yeah, Luka got hurt. They were second before Luka got hurt. See, yeah, facts. Yeah. They were good. Luka got hurt. So if Luka came back, they were going to be good again. See, look at this. Look at this shit here. See, this is what I'm saying. This is this trade right here. I'm sorry, bro. OKC might potentially have another top 10 pick because of this Clipper trade. Yeah. I'm sorry. This trade is worse than the Dallas Laker one. I'm sorry. This trade is bad. This is a bad trade. Celtics next is another one that's way up there. Goodness gracious, man. Real talk, you know your bum franchise is when you make other dynasties while never sniffing the Western Conference Finals. Yeah, this is god awful. This trade now, that OKC Clipper trade is wowzers. And you don't even have Paul George anymore. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this. Yeah, bruh. Again, here's the infamous graphic. The Clippers got Paul George. OKC got Shea, Gallinari, the Clippers first round in 22, 24, 26. Miami's 21st first round pick. The Miami's 23rd first round. Clippers 23 first round rights to swap pick and 25. Like this is a crazy trade. Yeah, bruh. Yeah. Yeah, this one takes the cake. I'm sorry. This one is for sure worse than the Dallas trade. But again, trading Luka, one of the worst decisions in NBA history by far. But this right here, This is crazy. Yeah, this is crazy. Goodness gracious. That is. The Clippers built OKC's dynasty, basically. That's what just happened. That's what happened. The Clippers built OKC's dynasty. Yeah, that's crazy. This is absolutely crazy. Mad fans on Twitter saying Luka coming back to Dallas. Yeah, no, that's not happening. Yeah, we're not dumb like y'all. We're not trading Luka. Yeah, that's not happening, pal. That's not happening. Yeah, no take backsies. No take backsies. I'm sorry. Y'all got AD, bro. Y'all got AD, man. Yeah, and Kyrie. Kyrie coming back too. Don't worry. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy now. Woo, do, 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 do. Don't worry. Do, 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 do. Be happy. Do, 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 do. Don't worry, be happy. My grandma used to have these, it was like these 3 flowers that would sing that song when you like press a button or something. Charge of that. It just sparked a childhood memory of mine for whatever reason. Kyrie and Wayne reuniting in Houston soon. Don't worry. Yeah, that's not happening. Apparently, Nick Wright made some granular point. When I just started tapping back into this show, so I know Nick Wright's on here saying some stupid shit on a every other day basis, but he gets it right from time to time. Also, Nick Wright got John Wick hair out of nowhere. I remember when Nick Wright was like balding, and then he just came back with a whole head of hair out of nowhere. I don't know what he did, but shouts out to him, I guess.
Good things happen. And listen, Luka's only played 5 of the 9 games. LeBron hasn't played yet, just got fully cleared today. Should be back in a couple weeks. Austin Reeves didn't play last night, and they're 7-2. And if you look at their next 7 games, because I think LeBron's going to miss the next 7. 6 of the 7 are on the road. Then they have a long homestand. This has 4-3 at worst, 5-2 written all over it.
Well, he probably included this as a win. We caught that mean ass L over there in Atlanta. We got the dub against the Hornets. I'm hoping he has enough sense to count this as a loss. But maybe we shall see tomorrow. We gotta beat the Pelicans. Giannis might drop 60 on us. I'm not gonna lie. And we gotta beat the Jazz. Yeah, we gotta beat the Jazz. I don't know if we're gonna beat the Bucks because my God, if we can't stop Denny Avdia, respect to him. If we can't stop Jaime Jaquez from driving, what are we going to do with Giannis Antetokounmpo? Goodness gracious. Yeah, he finna get a smooth 40. 45, 15, and 8. I'm just hoping Luka can match the production. And then Austin Reeves has to outplay Ryan Rollins, and then we'll win. But we ain't finna do shit with Giannis. Not a damn thing. And he might foul out DeAndre Ayton and Jackson Hayes. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that night. That's going to be a mean watch. Yeah. That's just going to be a mean. That might be a worse watch than this one. Because ironically enough, we play OKC very well. For whatever reason. We don't always win, but we play them very well. Because I like a lot of them, a lot of their advantages and how they frustrate other teams, they can't really do to us because I mean we have Luka. So, again, shout out Nico. No Nico Harrison slander will be tolerated around here. But being physical at the point of attack to ball handlers is something that OKC usually does. And it is effective. However, Luka is 6'8", 245. Doesn't really bother him as much as it bothers other people. So, and then quite frankly, we're a team that wants to zone up, have heavy gap help, and usually against OKC and Shea, we're able to do that. We've made Shea inefficient a few times when we played them because we just help like crazy. And if OKC and them role players can't hit shots, we'll at least be in the game. Yeah, Akeem, that's the other thing, right? They pressure the ball handlers. That leads to a lot of runouts and turnovers. Again, with Luka Doncic, not so much. Now, we'll say this. If he go out there trolling like he was in that Atlanta game, we getting that ass smacked. Yeah. If he go out there like he played against Atlanta, we finna get smacked when we play OKC tomorrow. But I doubt he does that. I doubt he does that. But if he go out there trolling, it's gonna get nasty. Luka has the little bro SGA tomorrow, absolutely. And then the day after is when we'll drop that Luka SGA video. Actually, boom, because I was clearly Luka FC in that video. I couldn't hide it. So I don't even care if the Lakers win or not. If Luka just needs to outperform Shea. That's what needs to happen. Then we drop that video with the title Luka clears SGA. Boom! Bam! We got him. Despite the loss, man. Yeah. Despite not having the best defense in the league. Y'all finna piss me off with this shit. Hey, man, look. Again, shouts out to my boy Nico. Salute to you, boy. Man, hey, I ain't gonna lie. I'm using that Darvin shit for a long time. Salute to the boy. You feel me? You've done nothing wrong in my eyes. You've done nothing but help me. So I appreciate you. I ain't got no problem with you. You traded Luka Doncic at 25. Good for you, pal. Good for you, pal. But I'm also with you. You didn't make that decision alone. That's too dumbass of a decision to make that alone. You have to have multiple dumbasses in the room together to come up with some foolishness like that. There's no way you made that dumbass decision by yourself. It's too dumb for one person to conjure up that much stupidity. It had to be a room full of dumbasses. So, let's trade Luka. Now we're here. So salute to you. Salute to YouTube, to the YouTube chat. To play back, I will be back later on tonight, streaming that Warrior whooping we finna see, because I'm pretty sure they playing OKC today. Yeah, we will be here watching that Warrior whooping. Oh, now that I think about it, that means we playing OKC on a back-to-back. Boy, we get OKC on a back-to-back. I'm be quiet though. Is Steph back? Oh man, Steph decided to come back to get locked up. It's a brave young man. Oh, no Dort. Wait, no way they resting niggas. Dort injured. Watch Dort gonna be magically healed up by tomorrow. Yeah, all of a sudden Dort gonna be playing the guard to hit stick Luka. And goddamn linebacker. We'll have to deal with the Legion of Boom when we do. All right, y'all. All right, YouTube.